All right, man. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, for allowing me to make this very video. All right, this video basically, it's gonna be entitled "Such are false apostles." Okay, and such are false apostles. All right, and obviously we're gonna be talking about false pastors, teachers, leaders, apostles. Which we know they are indeed set up by the Most High. Right. There's actually a scripture in Job 12th chapter that talks about how basically the deceived and the deceiver are his. Basically, the deceived person and the person doing the deceiving, which obviously be a lying ass nigga, right? Or a false teacher, false pastor, whoever it may be, they are the Lord's. They belong to the Lord, man. Literally, So, false teachers, pastors, they all belong to Yahweh. Everything belongs to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the true living God who worketh in the kingdom of men, right? The Most High, as it is written, he ruleth in the kingdom of men. Everything is behind the hand of the Lord, divinely, of course, divinely instructed and inspired by the hand of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is why, we should fear. And it's also comforting to have that knowledge, because, you are, it's a faith booster to know, like, look, if you're in the good graces of the Lord, you're doing what you're supposed to do, spiritually with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, then it's like, nigga, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But then it's like, you should always, we're also commanded to, stay on guard, right? Keep watch when some evil days. So there's a balance. There's really a balance to everything, Then basically what inspired me to do this video, I did a video last night, basically on these false teachers and apostles, pastors. This one dude, and this is an AI video. It was pretty funny too. It was pretty funny. But basically, it's a short little 20-second AI video. I don't know who made it, but I just found it on the Clock app. I downloaded it, and this is supposed to be Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. Basically, the AI video of him is basically saying, I know that the people over there in the Holy Land today are not the true Jews. And Revelation 2:9-9 talks about them, which Revelation 2:9-9, it does, you can apply to them, but it's really talking about, wicked Israelites that were among the church at the time. The Yahushua, was sending those messages to the 7 churches in Asia Minor. All right? And also, he was talking about, I know, the people over there in the Holy Land are not the true Jews. And that, basically, Revelation 2:9-9 tells us about them, but they control the media, and they pay me good, and I like the money. What else this nigga said? And something about they feed me well. I don't know, man. And I love the money, and some shit like that, man. So basically, selling off of the all seeing eye paper, which we know and understand that, shit, we understand that's it's gonna happen in these last days. All right, and I was basically talking about how these false pastors, they fulfill prophecy, man, all throughout the Bible, Old Testament and New. Let me get Isaiah 9. All right, and a lot of these pastors, if you notice, this dude, I believe, right, Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell, he's an Israelite, man, probably like Southern Kingdom, most likely. I don't know, Jamaican. I don't know. He could be a Hamite, but I think he's Israelite. I'm not sure. I don't know, cause I don't fucking do research about these people, right? So all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for allowing us to make this very video. Yahweh being the true name of the Most High. Bahashem meaning the name of, and Yahweh Shai being the true name of his only begotten Son, who the world called Jesus Christ. Alright? That is Isaiah 9. And I will start at verse 15. The ancient and honorable, the ancient, those elders, right? And honorable. He is the head and the prophet that teacheth lies. He is the tail. For the leaders of this people, of the Israelites, man, who are the leaders of at least the 2/3 of Israel, which is the majority of the nation. False teachers, false pastors, right? When you read 2 Peter 2, Peter talked about how there will be false prophets arising in the last days, and that many will follow their pernicious ways, man. Okay, and that many really is all the 2/3, man. If the 2/3, either they're following a false leader, or they're just fucking clouds passing by in the world. They're not really in the truth. They're not really in shit. They just living their old measly life in Babylon the Great, right? But for the leaders of this people, like this dude, Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell's, another one that comes to my mind is T.D. Jakes, right? They are the leaders of most of our people. If you look in the church, come on, man. You see Negroes, especially the elderly, you see Negroes in there, man. Because a lot of people have a zeal for the Most High, but it's not according to the knowledge, man. Romans 10:1. Same way it was back then with the Negroes during the times of Paul, the Jews. For the leaders of this people, okay, like this dude and all other fatback pastors, man, cause them to err. See that? Cause our people to err. Why? False doctrine. And they that are led of them. I was distracted, but as I was saying, right, our people which are led of these false ass niggas, right, are destroyed, man. And they are going to be destroyed, because that's the consequence of following a false prophet or a false apostle or a false teacher or a false doctrine. You receive their judgment. And it's again, Most High come to the balance. It's the same thing vice versa. If you follow a true prophet, a true teacher, right, in sincerity and truth in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, then you will receive their reward. You know, the kingdom and, things of that nature. So it's the same thing, man. Same thing, man. So again, the leader of our nation Israel caused them to stumble, to err, man. You see what I'm saying? Called them to err. Now, I really wanted to get into 2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians, what is it? 11, right? Like 12. 2 Corinthians 11. I'm gonna start at verse 12. Now, the book of 2 Corinthians is predominantly Paul defending his apostleship. You had a lot of Israelites that was basically leaders over the church of Corinth, which is not a literal building, by the way. Right, the church was a gathering of the Israelites, and the proof of that is in Acts 7, right, where Stephen talked about the church of God that was in the wilderness during the time of Moses, man. Wow, there was no fucking building in the wilderness. It's because Israelites were gathered together. Okay, ecclesia, or ecclesia, a gathering of the Israelites. Okay, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them, right? Revelation 2:1. Yahushua is walking in the midst of the 7 candlesticks. The 7 candlesticks are the 7 churches of Asia Minor, which are gatherings of Israelites. He's walking in the midst of them. Where 2 or 3 are in my name, gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Okay? So, you had a lot of Israelites, leaders specifically, of this church. They basically, were down looking Paul, man. But what I do, so Paul, he's defending his apostleship. Like, look, nigga, I was set up to do this thing, man. All right? All the fruits of a true apostle of Yahushua, I showed it before you, man. 2 Corinthians 11 and 12. But what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion. Okay? That wherein they glory, they may be found even as we. Right, so, because KJV can, be hard to read, but if you read it like an NLT, basically what Paul's saying is, to cut off, let's read it again, but what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion. Right, those which desire occasion, to basically say that they're true apostles like us. That wherein they glory, they may be found even as we. Right, so you had false apostles trying to make it seem like they were true apostles, man. Right, let's read it in NLT. But I will continue doing what I've always done. Right. What what Paul's done. Be a prisoner of Yahushua. Teach and preach, prophesy. This will undercut those who are looking for an opportunity to boast their works. It's just like, oh, see that? Cut off occasion for them which glory therein, right? Like he said in the KJV. Or like it said in the KJV. Verse 13. For such are false apostles. See that? Deceitful workers. Right, deceitful. That's this dude, man. I mean, you gotta watch the video to understand, man. The AI video, it's AI, but it's true. Talking about, I know the people over there in the land are not the true Jews, but they control the media, they control me, and they pay me good, and I love my money. That's exactly what he said in the video, the AI video, man. Which that's the mindset of the leaders of our people, man. Right, was teach for a pretense. Let me ask to get a precept. See, there's no new thing under the sun. It's not new. Same thing going on in ancient Israel. Isaiah 56. All right. In verse 10, his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. Who are the watchmen? The prophets. Right? The leaders. But predominantly the prophets. They are all ignorant. And obviously, these are false prophets, man. False teachers, false apostles, man. This dude, man. Ain't all like him. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. See that? They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Right, you got a lot of teachers that are inconsistent, man. They love to slumber, man. They're not really into doing the work of the Lord. They're lazy with this thing. Preach one day, 2 weeks go by, you don't preach, right? Or a couple months, however it may be. They are greedy dogs, greedy dogs, which can never have enough. A lot of these Christian pastors, I'm gonna always talk about this story, man. I don't remember who it was. I'm gonna have to dig into it. Maybe after this video if I have time. You had this one nigga Maybe it was TD Jakes. I'm not sure. This nigga pulled up to church, the Christian Baptist Church, right? In a Rolls Royce. One of them fucking supercars, man. Decked out, and the whole congregation, they're poor. They selling their little Nikes, man, to get to the church. Which the church is not even a building. So this is why, you see, when we read Isaiah 9, they that are led of these false teachers are destroyed. It's not just destroyed as in, you are destroyed by the Most High by a terrible death. It's not just that. They're destroyed literally, man. You destroy yourselves because you're led of these niggas. You giving up, you can't pay your rent, and you giving up your last coins, man. Paying a quote-unquote tithe, thinking that you're going to receive a blessing from the Most High. Our people are destroyed, man, and our people need rest. But that's why really Yahushua is coming back, to give our people rest, man. Right? To give us rest as a whole, because our people are fucking destroyed, man. Yeah, they are greedy dogs. We can never have enough. These false fucking pastors, man. Greedy, nigga. And they are shepherds, right, leaders, shepherds, that cannot understand. They all look to their own way. See that? They look to their own way, man. Not the Lord's way. Everyone for his gain, from his quarter. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. See, and this is talking about what? These false pastors, leaders, and shepherds of the nation of Israel, man. Because the truth is only for Israel. But you got these niggas in the chat talking about this John 3:16 crap. Which is nothing wrong with John 3:16. It's the way y'all niggas is interpreting it, man. You know? Most High loved the world, but the Edomites are going to be exterminated. Don't make no damn sense. This is Ezekiel 34. Verse 9. I'm going to get to the point. Therefore, O ye shepherds, leaders, okay, the pastors, teachers, leaders, hear the word of the Lord, which niggas like him, they bear that position, right? This dude, one of his videos had, I don't want to exaggerate, maybe over 1 million, right? So this nigga ain't no low number, man. He got the numbers, man, which proves he's a false prophet. Yahushua was the greatest prophet and was rejected by the world, predominantly the world of Israel, which is the only world he was manifest to. John 1:31. So it's like, how the fuck you all loved? Yahushua said the servant is not greater than his master. You shall know the world hated me before it hated you. How the hell you so loved all these millions of views, but Yahushua, the greatest prophet, somehow, some way, was hated by the world? But you love, nigga, and you're teaching the same thing. That means you're not teaching the same thing Yahushua was teaching. Ain't no way. You're teaching a world-friendly doctrine. Everybody like to talk about the prophet, Isaiah, or the prophets in general, right? If the prophets came on earth, they would probably get cussed out. Oh, no, they're on earth, man. But I was talking about, well, really, yeah, I take that back. I forgot. Reincarnation, man. Revelation 11:18, Revelation 18 and 20, they are on earth, man. You see? So, I mean, come on, man. Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I am against the shepherds. I'm against the leaders, man. And I will require my flock at their hand. Right, because you niggas you're destroying the flock of the Lord. The flock of the Lord, which obviously the congregation, the congregation, man, which are all obviously have to be all Israelites. You're destroying them, and you're feeding them bad food, that false doctrine. You're leading them astray. You're leading them away from the Most High. And you're thinking if you get a scripture in Jeremiah 23, you ain't teaching them the name of the Lord. You're teaching in Jesus' name. See that? And I will require my flock at their hands. So you're going to have to answer for that shit. And cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Meanwhile, he's going to take you out of that position you have. So dudes like this, he's going to be taken out of that position he got, man. But the Lord don't have to kill you to do that. He can embarrass you. Something maybe personal in your life will be exposed, nigga, to where it's going to force you to step down, man. Think about these two dudes specifically that was in the Israelite ministry. I'm not going to mention their names, but that's what the Lord did to them. He called them, wow, that's actually crazy. And fuck it, I'll mention their names. Deacon Akah and Assad. These two fucking pumpkin-headed niggas, man. These niggas did a whole 470, started teaching completely the fuck off, man. They turned everything around, man. Turned everything around. All right? Started teaching this Gentile salvation crap. And look what, not even 3 months, look what the Lord did. He caused them to stop feeding the flock, at least their flock that was listening to their dumbasses, right? He caused them to stop feeding. They haven't posted in fucking maybe 2 months, man, if you check their page. Why? Because of that incident where it came out, one of them niggas and their baby mama. I don't know. I didn't give a shit, man. I'm not into all that dumb shit. I just want to preach, prophesy, do what the Lord wants done. But basically, they don't teach no more, man. So the Most High don't have to kill you to take away your position from being a teacher over the flock. But, you know, he can if he wants. I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand and cause them to cease to stop from feeding the flock. You know, take your position away. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore. See that? For I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. See that? For thus saith Yahweh, behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out. Son of man has come to seek that which is lost, right? It's coming from Ezekiel 34. As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among among his sheep that are scattered, and where the sheep scattered amongst the nations, so will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries, and will bring them to their own land. That's not gonna happen till Yahushua come back, man. And feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers and all the inhabited places of the country. And I will feed them in a good pasture. What are we being fed with? Knowledge and understanding. And and the blessings. And upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie in a good fold and a fat pasture. See that? Shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. So we're gonna be in abundance, man. I will feed my flock, and I will call them to lie down. Lie down meaning what? To have rest. This is one picture I had of the sheep. Did a video a while ago, going to Psalms 23. It was a sheep just laying down in the grass, man. When you to lie down, it's symbolic for having rest. The Lord's going to cause us to have rest. Which I was just talking about that, man. Yahushua come back to give our people rest, man. When these false teachers are getting torn apart, being led astray, and really rest from the land of our captivity here in Babylon, the Great America, and all over the world. Saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua, I will seek that which was lost. Right, Israelites. So you got these stupid ass Christians talking about. You had this one nigga. I don't want this video to be too long, but you had this one nigga talking about. He quoted Luke 15. If a man have 100 sheep and one go missing, will he not leave the 99 go after the one? Yeah, nigga, that lost sheep. You got to go back to the Old Testament to understand the new, man. Yahweh said, I'm come to seek that which is lost. Matthew 18 and 20. What was he talking about? He was referring to the Old Testament, and we're reading it to you. Remember, Yahweh had the scriptures that became a flesh, so he's gonna say the same thing. And bring again, you were there, you fell away, that which was driven away, the sheep of the Lord, man. And will bind up that which was broken, right? The broken heart, Isaiah 61. See, you had another chick, a little Christian chick, reading Isaiah 61, talking about binding up the brokenhearted and the afflicted. Yahushua was not, that prophecy, which is about Yahushua, is not talking about everybody, you dumb lady. And will bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick, spiritually sick, walking in your iniquities, your sins. But I will destroy the fat and the strong. Right, I'll destroy the fat and the strong, man. Those that are living good in abundance, high level, right? And again, this dude, well, him, I'm not sure, but this is one, as I was saying earlier, man. There's one pastor, I don't remember who the nigga was, but he pulled up in a Rolls Royce, man. The fat and the strong. You know who else is the fat? Esau Edom. All this shit goes back to Esau Edom, man. He's the one paying off these fucking pastors to go to air, to teach that the true Israelites over there in the Holy Land, even though they know they're not. Right? To teach just wrong doctrine. All go back to Esau Edom. Esau Edom is also the fat, man. Right? The Lord's going to destroy the fat and the strong. That's Esau Edom. Genesis 27. Esau Edom dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Now really, that's going into like he will live in the best places. But I mean, you get the point, man. I will feed them with judgment. See that? Feed your ass with judgment, man. And as for you, O my flock, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I judge between cattle and cattle, between the rams and the he-goats. Seemeth it a small thing unto you to have eaten up the good pasture, but you must tread it down with your feet, the residue of your pastures, and to have drunk of the deep waters, but you must follow the residue with your feet. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole chapter. We get the point, really, I forgot where I was even at. Oh, yeah, 2 Corinthians 11. I forgot. All right, back to 2 Corinthians 11. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers. And that's what they are, man. Deceitful workers, man. Paid off, man. What's that called? 501c3. Transforming themselves into the apostle of Mashiach. The word apostle means sent. So these false leaders are making it seem like they were sent by Yahushua, but they really weren't. And that goes back to the Old Testament. Was it Jeremiah? Maybe Ezekiel. Jeremiah 23 or maybe Ezekiel 14. Though they prophesy, although I sent them not. That's in the Old Testament. And no marvel, right, no surprise, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light, right? So Satan he makes it seem like he has the truth, or he is truth. See that? The spiritual demon Satan. And we also know that, Esau, Edom, he's the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, man. Esau, Edom is Satan in the New Testament too. Satanas, the Greek word for Satan, which means a Satan-like man. So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is transformed into an angel of light. Right? Meaning he makes it appear like he has the truth with his science and his bullshit technology. They're trying to replace the Most High with science, man. Right? What so-called white man say some shit, our people just believe it, man. So the book of Proverbs said, a simple believer every word, man, and pass it by. So-called white man, our people believe the so-called white man wrote the Bible, man. They just believe everything they're told. The white man said is true. See that? Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers, see that? If Satan's ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. See that? And these pastors, they're Satan's ministers, man. Even Esau, Edom is Satan's minister. Which they're all ministers of the Lord, man. You're going to realize everything is a hierarchy, man. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, which they are, because everybody thinks they got the truth. Whose end shall be according to their works. Which, what is their end? Death, judgment. Ezekiel 34, I'll feed them with judgment, man. These false pastors. Okay? So, I'm going to close out there, man. I just wanted to, hit that little point right there. But all praise, honor, and glory. So, I'm actually going to close on Revelation 20. All right? The judgment at the Most High. We read Ezekiel 34. Most High said he's going to feed these false pastors with judgment, right? What's going to be that judgment? The nuclear destruction of America, man. Essentially, as a whole. Revelation 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them, that's Esau, Edom, so-called white man, was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. That's the nuclear destruction of America, where the beast, they don't EU, and the false prophets are. The false prophet, the Roman Catholic Church, are going to be cast in the lake of fire, destroyed in nuclear destruction, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And the smoke of their burning go up forever and ever. Revelation 14, maybe 9 or 10. Right? What's verse 11? Okay, that's something else. But there we have it, man. So that's their judgment, man. They're going to be fed with, man, via Ezekiel 34. I'm going to close out. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, Lord willing, you're out of 5. Lord willing, you see me in the next one. And with that, I'm going to say strong. Shalom, man. Shalom. Peace.